Guys, thanking you. Ooh, thank you.
All right.
Thanking you guys for spending your time with us, and welcome to SABR. So we're going to use this time to really help you navigate through the website and learn where are some of the key SABR benefits so that you can really use your membership to your advantage. Carter, Scott, what do you have for us?
Hi, everybody. My name is Scott Carter. I'm SABR's Executive Vice President. I am very excited to meet all of you. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your evenings to join us and learn a little bit more about your membership and kind of the nuts and bolts of things that you got when you signed up for SABR. So above all, SABR is a community of like-minded baseball enthusiasts. We're all huge, massive baseball fans. And it's our hope that you can make some new connections during this meeting as a little, inaugural class of, I'm assuming most of you signed up here within the last month or two. So you're all new SABR members. So you've got that in common amongst your love of baseball and all of your passion for the sport. So we wanted to do a quick little icebreaker, get to know you session. I promise this isn't very painful. We've done it a few times, so it goes quick. Don't be shy. But basically what we'll do is I'm just going to bounce around the horn here in terms of what the screens that I can see. And I will ask you your name, where you're from, where you're currently located, and your favorite major league club. So nothing too, this shouldn't be pulling teeth for a bunch of baseball fans. Hopefully it's pretty easy. So again, my name is Scott Carter. I grew up in Southern California, in southeastern LA County in a city called Downey. So I grew up a massive Dodger fan and had a chance to work for the Dodgers as well. So I remain a Dodger fan. I think we are currently in a rain delay in Pittsburgh. So as soon as we're done, we'll check on the Dodgers. So a couple of the folks that I wanted to introduce before we get to all of our new members. Miss Allison Levin is one of our board of directors, and she's kind enough to join us today. Just wanted to introduce Allison real quick. Great support from our board. So anytime you have a question, feel free to reach out to the staff. But if you can't get a hold of a staff member, feel free to reach out to our board. Our board is incredibly approachable and helpful. So we appreciate Allison taking some time to join us today. And then Mr. Bruce McClure is a veteran SABR member, and he's on our new member ambassador team. So if you have a question about where to find something or what to do or who to contact, Bruce is a good reference point, in addition to our staff and board. So I'll let Allison introduce herself and then we'll go around the horn.
Hi, everybody. As Scott said, I'm Allison. I'm on the board of directors. We welcome you to SABR, first of all. I am born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, which means I kind of have to be a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Along the time that I was in college, I also picked up the Dodgers as my second team, which has worked pretty well because when the Cardinals are horrible, the Dodgers tend to be okay, and then vice versa. So it's kind of best of both worlds. And right now I can say the Cardinals absolutely look horrible. So the Dodgers are coming up a little bit, which helps. So that's all for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison. Bruce, why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
I am from Massachusetts originally, Western Mass, currently living in West Hartford, Connecticut. I grew up a Red Sox fan and still can't believe they won 3 World Series in my lifetime because I never thought I'd see them win one. But I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Mets too, but mostly minor league baseball. I worked in minor league ball for about 12 years, and I prefer to get out to the minor league parks as the year goes along. Always around.
Awesome.
If anybody ever needs any help, you can email me anytime.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Bruce. Okay, let's go around. So I'm just going to shout out your name as I see you on the screen. So let's go to Miles Causey first.
I'm from Powassan, Ontario, Canada. Been a lifelong Blue Jay fan. Despite much heartbreak during the 80s and early 90s, it was really nice to see the Jays win in 92 and 93. That's a highlight of my life. And again, hoping for great things with the Jays over the next couple of years anyways. So yeah, I'm just happy to be part of SABR. I wish I had done it years ago. I'm really enjoying going through the site. So yeah, it's been very good so far.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Miles. It's never too late to join, so we're glad you got on board when you did. So let's go to Mr. Carl Owens. You're up next. Oh, you're muted, Carl. There you go.
I was born in New Jersey, and we moved to Texas when I was 10. And I've always been a Brooklyn Dodger and Los Angeles Dodger fan. And I live in Richmond, Texas now.
Well, welcome. This may be two the Dodgers are out to an early lead. This may be two new member meetings in a row where the Dodgers take it. So I'm just going to leave that out there. So let's go to welcome, Carl. Let's go to Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan. Excuse the mask. I'm actually in an office right now, which still has the mask restrictions. I'm in Portland, Oregon, and my team is the Seattle Mariners, who looks like they just avoided getting no hit again.
Awesome. Well, thank you and welcome. Let's go to Pierre. Pierre, you're up next, my friend.
Hi, I'm Pierre Larocco. I live just outside of Philadelphia, to the point where I can see Philadelphia from my porch. I am a big Phillies fan.
Very cool. Welcome all the way from just outside of Philly. Pierre, let's see who's up next. Let's go to Rob. Looks like Rob's out on a walk. He must be somewhere nice. Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Rob? We'll come back to Rob. Let's go to.
Hey, here's Rob.
Oh, hey, Rob.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
So I can see Alaska from my kitchen. No, just kidding. Hey, I'm Rob Eichelberger. I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, was a Pirates fan, moved to St. Louis in 1991. And by the next year, even though the Pirates were good at that time, became a diehard Cardinals fan. So we're going to displace you Dodger guys on this call.
We indoctrinate very quickly when you move to St. Louis.
Oh yeah. The fans were the reason.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Rob. Welcome. Steven Finkelstein, you're up next. You there, Steven?
Hi, sorry, I was mute. I live in Phoenix. It's the longest place I've ever lived. My dad was in the Air Force. I'm a Pirates fan.
Welcome. Hopefully we can we'll catch you around the horn in Phoenix sometime. All right, let's go to Dave Med.
Hi, I was born in Windsor, Ontario, so I actually grew up a Tigers fan, mostly because I was a fan before the Blue Jays existed. So I live outside of Toronto now, so by geographic necessity, I'm a Jays fan. They're in Chicago, so they haven't started yet.
Very cool. We're international and we're proud of it. So welcome our Canadian brothers. Let's go to Dan. Dan, can you hear me? Dan Runge or Runge? Well, Dan, if you hear us, we'll come back to you. Tony, looks like you just joined us. Welcome in. Just tell us where you're from, who your club is.
Hi, yeah, a little late to the party. I'm sorry, guys. I was born in Jersey City. I lived about a 5-minute walk from where Jackie Robinson made his debut, Roosevelt Stadium. You guys know that place. I do root for the evil empire, though. I root for the Yankees, so I'm sure that's going to turn some of you off, but that's all right. Yeah, this guy over here is like, get out of here, right? It's okay to admit you root for the Yankees. They haven't won in over a decade. Okay, people? It's fine. Nice to be here, though. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tony. Okay, looks like Dan, I saw you unmute for a second. Can you come back and say hi? Nope. All right, let's go to Barry. Hey, Barry, welcome.
Hello. Welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Just tell us where you're from and who your club is.
I'm in Rockville, Maryland, and I have the luxury of being an Orioles fan and a Washington Nationals fan.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, Dan, if you hear us and you want to say hi, just raise your hand. Let me know. Otherwise, Chanel, you want to bring us home?
Yes. So we're gonna start by logging into your SABR profile.
Well, you didn't tell us where you're from and who your club is.
Okay. Sorry. Hi guys again. I'm from San Juan, Puerto Rico, and I am like Tony that I root for the Yankees. It's okay. We won like in 2009, and I was a kid when we won a bunch, so we're fine. We can say we're Yankees fans. Cool. Okay, now we can go into our SABR profile. Let me share my screen with you so you can see what I'm seeing. Let's do this. Perfect. Can you guys see?
Yep.
I'm not.
Awesome. Perfect. So when you want to log into your SABR profile, you are going to go to sabr.org and you click on this top right member login. So click right here, and that's going to take us to our members hub. And under members home, we're going to click on learn more. Once we're there, we can sign in using our credentials. Remember that your username is always your full email address. And then your password contains letters and numbers. So we click on sign in. And we scroll down a little bit and click on our profile. And right here, you're going to have the ability to change your contact information if you hit on this edit button that has a little pencil on it. And you can also see whether you decided to receive your publications electronically or not. I'm kind of an electronic person, so that's why I chose it. But if not, your BRJ, you will receive it in a paper or hard copy. Perfect. So the other thing I wanted to show you was our directory. So right here, if you click on directory, you can search for other SABR members by keyword, by chapter, or by research committee, if you keep going down this way, or even by country. I love this because it's a really good way to meet other people. For example, if I want to do international players, because I'm super interested on that, I click on search. And then all the people that are populated right here are either people that are interested on that subject or are experts on that matter. And now we're gonna go to our groups. So our groups are chapters, and usually the chapter that you're in is your geographic location. But because we're pivoting to virtual, you can be in as many chapters as you want. So if you want to be like me and you want to be in 81 chapters, go ahead. I can show you how to do that. So how we add chapters, you go right here where it says available groups, and you click on join group, but there's this plus sign or addition sign, and then you click OK. And perfect, that made the magic. Now I'm part of the Rickwood Field, Alabama chapter. Perfect, let's see. And the other thing I wanted to show you was how to get your event registration, your invoices, and all that fun administrative stuff. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna click on this menu by your name and click on the invoices. And if you go to your membership, there's this little person right here. You can see your membership type. You can see your donation history. You can see your event registrations, which I already registered for the Summer of SABR Golden Celebration series, so you should too, but I'm going to talk about it when we go to our event, so no worries on that one. And that's it on all of our profile, I would say, things that you should know. Let me go ahead and do another share of my screen. Second. Perfect. Okay. So now if we go on our main webpage, saber.org, and click on latest news, if we scroll down a little bit again, we're going to see our newsletter that it's called This Week in SABR. So every Friday, religiously, you will receive This Week in SABR to your email inbox. And that contains everything you can imagine, from news to what's happening with events to special offers. But if you, for some reason, missed one of the editions or want to read what was going on in 2 months ago or whatever, you can go in right here and view all issues and click on the one that you want to read. So I'm going to go ahead and read the one for last Friday. And this is a little, I shouldn't say a little, it's a lot of information, but it's really worth it. So here we made our announcement for the registration for the Summer of SABR. I can't not say that whole name because it's like a tongue twister for me, so you're gonna laugh. So Summer of SABR. We also talked about our Future 50 donation campaign. We talked about our research resources and our member benefit spotlight. We finally published all of our videos and highlights for our virtual analytics conference. That was in March of this year. What else? More news. Something that Carter Scott is going to talk about, our newspapers.com archives, that's a new benefit for us. And if you keep going, it's just more and more information. But I really want to show you the events part. So you're going to get this every Friday, and you can see when are the chapter research committee meetings, as well as our SABRcast or podcast. And that's it on my part. Carter, do you want to go ahead? Let me stop my sharing. Perfect.
All right, everybody. So I will take over from here for a little bit, and I'm going to share my screen. Everybody see that? Give me a thumbs up. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you all about our digital library. And one of the best benefits about your SABR membership is our digital library, where you can download over 75 books for free and get a discount on paperback versions if you want. So let's quickly tour that together now. So on our homepage here at sabr.org, you just want to click on publications right here in this main menu, and you'll find our digital library. Now, our featured publication is always going to be listed right here. So this is basically just our most recent book that we've published. This last book that we published is Perspectives on 42, obviously a book about Jackie Robinson, which came out on April 15th, Jackie Robinson Day this year. And all SABR members can download an ebook, a digital copy of this book, absolutely for free. Now, if you wanted a paperback version of this book, you get it for 50% off. So it's $17.95, and that includes shipping and tax. But not only do you get the featured book, you get access to the entire digital library, which is over 70 books. So if you clicked on more titles, you can see that we've got literally a book about every team. We've got a book about umpires. We've got a book about winter meetings, scouts, you name it. So let's just, I'll click on one just for example's sake. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Okay, let's look at this book on the Miracle Mets here. And so if you're interested in downloading a copy of this book, click on the title, and then you'll go to this section that screams at you, SABR members, get this book for free. And you're like, yes, that's what I want to do. So you're going to click on this little link right here, and it'll take you to this page. And essentially it's oh, I am not signed in. So let me sign in real quick.
Remember my instructions.
Yep. Oh, hold on here. My apologies, people.
Are these books produced by SABR, or are they general books?
Yeah, no, these are all produced by SABR. So we have an editorial committee that chooses which projects we're going to take on, and they're all written by SABR members and edited by SABR members and published by SABR. So it's all an internal an internal production. We're very proud of them, and we'll let you know as soon as we publish a new one. But we put out a new one essentially every month to 6 to 8 weeks. So okay, so I'm back to Jackie Robinson book. We'll use this as our example. You'll see that now that I'm signed in, my price for the digital publication is $0. So you have an option here. I want mine as a PDF. That's the option I want. So let's click on that. It's $0. And essentially you would just go through this as a checkout, as if you were checking out of an online store, and it would send you and email you a download link for your new book. Okay, cool. Now the great thing about the digital library, like I said, there's almost 80 books in this entire collection that you have ability to download for free. So again, we like to talk about value for your membership. If each one of these books is free, and you've got access to 80 of them, you're paying for your SABR membership fairly quickly. So we want to make sure that you guys see the value in your SABR membership, and you keep renewing year after year, because we're always putting out new awesome publications. The next thing I want to show you all, we'll go back to our homepage. Our website is something that we're incredibly proud of. There's so much content on sabr.org that it can be a little bit tough to try to find everything, but I did want to show you some of the important parts of the main page that can guide you in finding a lot of cool history, cool facts, and things that people get a lot of mileage out of as SABR members. So if you are on the homepage here, you'll see the search bar right at the top, search the research collection. You can literally type almost anything in here and it will yield the results that we have in our publicly available research collection. So let's stick on Jackie Robinson, since we were looking at his book. So if we click on Jackie Robinson and search here, the website will yield all of its responses here in search results. So it'll start with his biography, all the journal articles that have been written about Jackie Robinson, game stories. We'll get into that a little bit later, and you'll see we got 30 pages of results here on Jackie Robinson. So obviously a very important figure in the game, and lots written about him, but we've got quite a bit as well about him on SABR as well. So that's one way to go about things. You can also click on this research collection button right here, and that'll take you to the main points of our SABR research collection. One item I'll talk about first here is the Baseball Research Journal, and that is published every year in the spring and the fall, and includes articles on history, biographies, stats, personalities, you name it. Every edition is different and follows a unique theme. If you click here, it'll show you the latest edition, which you can read. If you missed signing up and you didn't get this particular issue, you can go back. You actually can just go back and read these articles. So here they're all archived for you right here for the Baseball Research Journal of Spring 21 with the babe on the cover. You want to read archives for any past BRJs, you can go there and you can see all of our previous Baseball Research Journals. Again, you can get these in e format as a member for free. The next big signature publication for SABR is the National Pastime. This is a publication that we put out every year annually, and it focuses on the geographic region where we're going to host our annual convention. Now this year obviously is a little bit different since we're not hosting an in-person convention. Baltimore, where we'll be hosting the next in-person convention in 2022, was our last National Pastime edition. It came out last summer. This summer's National Pastime will actually be a very unique issue, and it'll focus on the future of baseball. Since we don't have a geographic home for this summer, we'll focus on the future. So it'll be really cool. Now be coming out here momentarily in a few weeks, and you'll be able to get that as a new SABR member. So that's the National Pastime. Let's go back to the research collection. I'm going to quickly go over the Games Project and the Biography Project, which are two of SABR's most popular web destinations. So if we click on the Games Project down here, The goal of the games project, which is actually this is all done by SABR members, so it's a great way if you want to dip your toe into the research pool and get started on researching particular games or particular players or particular teams. This is a great way to get started if you're looking to write or research. The games project is our goal is to archive and write about as many possible different games as we can. So it's an ongoing project. But if you wanted to, we pull some interesting ones out here. So no hitters are a fascinating topic this year since there's been so many of them, but we'll click here and we've got an archive of all of our games project on basically every no hitter that's ever been thrown. So we can, you can click on here. Let's read about the very first no hitter. And you can see it's a pretty lengthy story here that gives you some great background on the first ever no-hitter. So these are much more detailed than you get in a particular just like a game story and a recap from a current game. But you can pretty much find any remarkable or noteworthy game in history has been written about by a SABR member. The biography project, similarly impressive in its scope and ongoing destination, is that it's always being added to. There's over close to 5,500 biographies that have already been written. This is really, really cool. It's like I said, it's an ongoing effort to research and write comprehensive bios for people that have played, managed, otherwise made a significant contribution to baseball. You can see some of our newest bios that have been written. Again, a great way to get involved if you want to write a biography. You can go to the bottom of the page and you'll see frequently asked questions, research tips, guidelines, how to go about contacting the bio committee if you want, the bio project committee, if you wanted to actually write a biography. Let's just click on, let's search for a biography just to see what it looks like. We'll search for Jackie again, just so we can look at Jackie's bio. Come on, internet. We'll read Jackie's bio. And among the most lengthy on the SABR website, you can see that Jackie Robinson's bio is quite thorough, and will give you a really, really, really nice scope of his life and career. So not all bios are this long, but not all players and folks have this much to talk about. So biography project is really cool. A great way to get involved if you're looking to like I said, get started in research, but just for a consumer like me who just loves reading about baseball. I mean, I always just love reading our new SABR bios every week. So that's the SABR bio project. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is actually our members only section, and show you some options, some cool stuff that you have access to that only members have. So if you go to this member login page on our homepage up here, it's going to take you to our members hub. Our members hub will give you 3 distinct options right here. Our members home, which is great, basically a catch-all for any tips on your membership or things like renewing or finding different directories, that sort of thing. Event registration, which Chanel will touch on here in a second. And I'm going to outline our research resources, which are fantastic and always being added to. So if you click on that research resources home, it'll take you to this page, and you will notice right off the top that there's two buttons that are listed first because they're probably our most popular members only resources. And again, these are only available to SABR members, so you have to be logged in to get to this point. So if you ever click there and it doesn't give it to you right away, just make sure that you're logged in like Chanel instructed you how to do early on. So first one I'm going to show you is the newspapers.com, which is brand new. Like I said, we just announced the addition of the newspapers.com World Collection a couple weeks ago, and it's been incredibly well received. An annual subscription to this collection is $89 by itself. So obviously there's a tremendous value when one benefit alone is paying for your entire SABR membership. So these online archives give you access to more than 10,000 newspaper titles from the United States and around the world. And they allow you to explore full and partial runs of these papers dating back to the 1700s, some of them. So let's do a quick search and give you an example. When you log in, this is going to be saved, this login information. So as long as you're logged into your SABR account, you'll be able just to bypass that piece right there. And it'll take you to the World Collection home at newspapers.com. And it's an easily searchable site. So really anything is going to populate. So let's look for Babe Ruth, just as an easy example. Let's see what the Salt Lake Tribune from 1948 had to say about Babe Ruth. And as you can see, it's literally a screenshot of the actual the paper archive itself, and it'll highlight any mention of the search term that you're looking for. So obviously, an incredible tool for researchers, but like most things in SABR, also very interesting just for history buffs and folks that just love reading about baseball and different things within the baseball universe. So that's the newspapers.com button, and like I said, that's just been added within the last 2 weeks. That's included with your SABR membership, and it's a really popular resource. The other one is the paper record, and the paper record is basically access to the entire archives for the Sporting News publication. Another really popular resource. So if you click here, you'll be able to, this one's a little bit tougher to find. You got to go down to Missouri and you'll see the Sporting News published out of St. Louis. Click on that. And here's another search function. So I like my example. I was growing up in the late 80s and 90s, then Dodgers. Who was my favorite player? Raul Mondesi was my favorite player on the Dodgers in that time period. Let's check out and see what we can find in the Sporting News about Raul Mondesi. On internet. All right, let's search Monday, December 18th, 1995. And you'll see again, we have scans of our, where's it go? I'm over here. You can see over here on our Dodgers page over here, our Raul Mondesi highlights. So it's an awesome tool, the paper record. So combined with the newspapers.com subscription, again, two really popular research resources that are well worth and make up for the cost of your SABR membership. Going back to the member research page, you'll see the immense collection of archives and guides that are available to SABR members. We'll just bounce through a few popular ones. Just keep scrolling down. One of the most popular things that people search for is the 4 or more home runs in a single game archive, which is because without fail, if somebody hits 3 home runs in a game, the first thing you're thinking of is, well, how many people have 4 home runs in a game, and who's the last one to do it? So if you go to this archive, it'll literally tell you all that information. We have a database for triple plays as well. Some of my popular, my favorite things to read: a guide to sabermetric research. So, kind of an intro to SABR metrics and the differentiation between SABR as an organization and sabermetric, the term, and just kind of a brief guide to doing research with statistics. And then this is a great guide as well, to how to do baseball research. So if you're interested in just getting started, this is an ongoing project that just kind of tells you where to look, who to talk to, and resources at your disposal to do the type of research that you want to do. That's really it for our research resources. I'll stop my share real quick. We talk about research resources a lot. I don't want to give you the impression that by joining SABR that you're expected to do research or that you have to do research, because I myself am just a massive consumer of baseball history and baseball stats, and we're all massive baseball fans. So there's a place for SABR in every stripe of baseball fans. So whether you want to do research or just a consumer, you like to read about it, you like to read about history, or you're more interested in stats and sabermetrics, there's a wide scope that everyone should feel comfortable about, and you can kind of find your people within the organization. And we want to give you the tools to do that. So if you're looking to connect with like-minded people within the organization, we're here to help. And we want you to find your niche, so to speak, and be comfortable and be able to enjoy the organization as much as you can. So I'm going to turn it back over to Chanel and take a drink of water.
Awesome. So I'm going to show you the last thing before we open it up for questions. And I know we touched a little bit on it, and that was our events. Let me share my screen again. Perfect. So now that we're on our main webpage again, we click on this banner that says events. And here you can find all the information you want and you need about our signature events as well as our chapter meetings. So we have our analytics conference, we have the Negro League Conference, our annual convention that we're going to celebrate in person, hopefully in 2022. And this calendar right here contains all the chapter and research committee meetings that are going to happen. So as you can see, tomorrow we have True. On Saturdays, usually a packed schedule. So be on the lookout to look for some chapter meetings. And if you click on them, you can see what they're going to talk about or who's the guest speaker. And you can also register in advance for them. And then you'll receive an email with that Zoom link. But I also want to talk about, sorry that I'm scrolling really fast here. This year, we are celebrating our 50th anniversary. So as part of our 50th anniversary, we are celebrating the Summer of SABR Golden Celebration Series. Ooh, okay, I said it. And with that, we're having a 9-session conference. So that will be from June 25th to the 27th, if I said it correctly, July 23rd to the 25th. August 10th is a very important date because that was the day that SABR was actually founded, and that weekend of the 13th and the 14th of August as well. So we're going to have guest speakers come in. So Janet Marie Smith, Larry Lester, Gary Asheville, JJ Cooper from Baseball America, and we're going to have so many others. And if you register as a member, it's only $35 for all those 9 sessions throughout the summer. So you would be paying just one price for all those 9 conferences. If you have a friend that wants to join and that person is not a SABR member, it's going to be $50. But for the quality of speakers, it sounds like a great steal. I'm already registered for it. Let me see if I can show you how to register for this. Let me see. Click here to register. You're going to click on that. And right here, if you are a member, sign in before. So it takes a $35 price point for you. And you put your name, your email, then your phone. And then you can click, once you're signed in, the $35 on it. And then you save and finalize your registration. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me or contact Scott. We'll be able to help you with this. And I think that's all we got for the Summer of SABR Golden Celebration Series. Oh my God, I'm on a roll saying it like twice. Perfect. And now we're going to open this for any questions that you guys or that you all might have. So do you have any questions? Okay, so we did awesome. Perfect.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So for the thing that you can't say, the Summer of SABR, I can't say it either. Will those sessions be recorded so that if we are going to miss one, we can go back and watch it later?
Yes, absolutely. That's something that we do with all of our virtual conferences is we'll record them and we'll make them exclusively available to folks that registered for the conference immediately after, once we have a chance to cut all the videos and edit them down. So yeah, if you miss a session, don't worry about it. We'll make it available via video YouTube link, and you'll be able to watch it at your own leisure. Good question.
Right. And got one more too.
Yeah.
If I'm interested in, like, thinking about doing a biography or a game summary, like, I assume there's like a committee that I talk to and say, hey, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, that kind of thing. How's that work?
Yeah, that's another great question. If you actually go to each of those pages, they're at the bottom of each of the bio project and the games project page. There's a frequently asked questions link there that'll kind of show you the process that you would need to go to, as well as the contact information for each of those committees, and they'll kind of walk you through it and say, like, we've already got a bio for this guy, or here's what we're looking for. So it's pretty easy to find, but of course, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us if you can't find the information on those pages on your own.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
I have a question about how deep the biographies go, and or actually how broad the biographies go. I understand that of course, there'd be a biography on Jackie Robinson.
Right.
And I come from a place in Iowa where Bob Feller grew up, Cleveland Indians, and he had a cousin who had a very short career of pitching for the Detroit Tigers. And I mean, when I say a very short career, I mean, I think it was like 5 or 6 games. Then he got his draft notice. And that was the end of his major league career. And I'm just curious, do your biographies go down far enough to catch somebody like that? Or would that be something I'd have to research and add to your database?
It really depends on, you know, the threshold for who is included is up to the committee. So the committee will kind of give you the green light if you're looking at a particular person that we don't already have. But I'll put in the chat a link to those frequently asked questions, so you can kind of run that down. I mean, the first thing I would do is just search and see if it's there. But we've got, I mean, with over 5,500 bios, you can imagine not all of them are headliners. There's quite a few people that just have interesting stories and backgrounds and are notable for one way or another.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Generally, I would say one of the things the Bio Project likes doing is finding stories like that, because we tend to think of ourselves as like archiving the history of baseball. And so, you know, that's the sort of stuff that, you know, you're right, there are a ton of biographies on Jackie Robinson. It's important that we have that, but those other stories are ones that we also cultivate. So, you know, it's great to sort of get those memorialized, and that's what we're trying to do.
Question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I started poking around all the research site. The thing that I had just gotten started interested in, which is why I was given this membership as a gift. Things such as getting set up in MySQL and R analysis. And I can find it on YouTube sites, et cetera, but is there is there some beautiful individual that will kind of loves talking about this stuff and holds your hand for, hey, could I get a little bit of our code that would do this? You know, that.
Yeah. And I think, you know, Dave, one of the things that obviously our annual analytics conference is kind of the big one-stop shop for all of our analytics, and that happens in March every year. This past year was totally virtual and it was awesome. But we do have a stats committee that is very helpful that you can talk to. We just actually published all of our analytics conference videos. So we just made those widely public to everybody. So you can find those on the website. You can go back and look at all the research presentations. Chanel's going to pull them up now. So, oh, are you?
Maybe.
I'm like on screen share, but I'm going to do it.
Got it.
Specifically, Scott, for Dave in particular, there are sessions that are listed as student sessions.
Yep.
And it's got exactly that. It's got SQL, it's got R, it's got exploring the layman database. It's a great place to start.
Yep. And yeah, so we basically, yeah, like Allison said, we had sessions for students and young professionals where it was really kind of a databasing 101, and you know, scrubbing some of those websites for that type of data. So yeah, there's outside of the videos and the things that you'd be able to see, there's plenty of people within the organization that if you needed just, you know, Allison's waving her hand, you're just, you know, someone to point you in the right direction. There's plenty of those folks that'll just say, hey, here's a great resource. Here's somebody you should talk to. There's a lot of people here to help.
Yeah, you can email me at any time. I use R all the time.
I saw you smiling and nodding.
Oh yeah, I use a lot of R, so I can help you find stuff. Don't do a ton of, you know, SQL, but if you know how to use R, you can use SQL and vice versa.
Yeah, I know a bit of SQL. It's the R that I've barely touched.
Okay. Yeah, just reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help. Plus, look at those student videos. They're excellent.
Allison, okay, got it.
I'm on the website under Board of Directors. You can find my email there.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it when we got such wide ranging questions of, it shows you the full spectrum of SABR membership. I think, did someone else have a question? I think I saw a hand raised and I don't know if it went away, but
Barry.
Yeah, I have one other question.
Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how the local chapters function here? I mean, do they hold monthly meetings, or is it just a gathering place to get to know other big baseball fans, or what is the function of the local chapters, and how do we use them?
Great question. I'll give you my brief spiel. It might be good to hear from Bruce, one of our veteran members, just on chapters. But really, every member, when you sign up for SABR, you're obviously asked to kind of select your primary chapter, and that's just, you're looking like, okay, who's the closest to me? All right, well, you're clicking whoever is closest to you. Now, the past year has been obviously pretty crazy because local chapters haven't had a chance to meet in person. Now, it's up to the individual chapters on how often they meet, where they meet. Some meet more than others. Some are more active than others. The great thing about, one of the silver linings of the pandemic is that everybody got so comfortable with these types of virtual events that SABR members could join essentially any event that any chapter was having across the country. So you're not limited just to your local chapter who may be in your physical proximity. You can jump on, the LA chapters meeting, if you find their speaker interesting, or you want to be in the Cooperstown chapters, meeting because you find they've got a speaker that's interesting. You can join any of those virtual events and everybody's going to be extremely welcoming. And then your chapter meeting, now we're starting to see, in-person events come back online, and people are meeting more frequently, but it's really up to the individual chapters on how often they're getting together and where they're getting together. And you all on our website, you can find all of the chapter information. So if you're interested in just talking to your chapter, chairman and saying, hey, when do we meet? Or I want to make sure I didn't miss the newsletter, you can find all that contact information. Bruce, did I miss anything on chapters you might want to touch on?
Scott's right. Chapters meet. It's different with each chapter. I'm in the Smoky Joe Wood chapter here in Connecticut. It meets 3 or 4 times a year. We're just starting to plan a excursion to a Yard Goats game here in town for August. I know other chapters we're meeting every couple of weeks, monthly. A lot of them are recording their sessions and plugging them in on YouTube so that you can time shift and watch them after the fact. I know that helps me in my job. I have a bit of a weird schedule, so I can time shift a lot of events, see what I want to see, and then get back to people with further discussion. Some chapters don't meet. I hate to say it, Scott. Some chapters, from what I understand, don't meet like more than once a year, and they're real loose and whatnot. So I implore you, find out who's in charge in your chapter, or just go to the one that's closest to you in the members forum, click somebody in there and reach out. I'm sure somebody's going to get back. Or if you're not near one or yours doesn't meet, try to start one. Why not?
Does that answer your question, Barry?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Awesome. Fantastic. Thanks, Bruce.
Of course.
Any other questions, folks? No, we're getting close to 6. We don't want to keep you too much past our bedtime.
6? Wait a minute.
Oh, I mean, we're in Phoenix. Well, I think that's that's all our questions. If you have, I mean, if you're like me, you get off a meeting, you think about 10 things that you should have asked during your meeting. Feel free to email Chanel or I or anybody on staff or on the board. We're here to point you in the right direction and make sure that your new SABR membership is as enjoyable as possible. that you feel welcomed and you feel like you've got all the resources at your fingertips. So thank you so much for being here, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thanks.